What's this thing doing out here?
Whoa! There's a creepy ghost inside!
I'm not a ghost, I'm a yokai. I'm Whisper, your yokai butler, at your service.
Yokai Watch is Nintendo and developer Level 5's latest efforts in replicating the same kind of success that was brought to video games and popular culture from Pokemon back in the 90s. Utilising the same kind of gotta-catch-em-all mentality, Yokai Watch pits the player in an urban adventure to solve mysteries, help others, and battle against other mischievous yokai. From the get-go, the game's production values are pretty slick. Upon booting the game, an anime intro plays that really sets the fun tone and playful nature of the game. Thankfully, and this is something I was legitimately concerned about, there's a choice between playing as a girl or a boy. When making a game that's designed specifically to capitalise on popularity among kids, the first step is being able to cater to them properly, a misstep that took Pokemon 3 generations to get right. The battle system in Yokai Watch is more hectic than your typical turn-based combat. Your yokai powers actually auto-attack your enemies in up to 3v3 fights, but as the battle continues, your party develops their own Saltimate meter, which brings up a quick minigame like tapping a certain amount of orbs or tracking a circle with the stylus quickly to unleash a stronger and more specialised attack from that character. At first I found this type of gameplay confusing and a little more complex than it needed to be, but after a few battles, it just sort of clicks and becomes something that's actually pretty easy. The only downside is that yokai attacks are incredibly limited compared to the movesets that Pokemon develop as they level up and evolve. And speaking of Pokemon, the gotta-catch-em-all approach of that series makes sense when you pay attention to different elements and attack types each Pokemon belongs to. Mixing and matching parties to suit upcoming battles and trainers is paramount to success and gets the player planning their playstyles and engaging in other aspects of the game like breeding and evolving. In Yokai Watch, on the other hand, there are over 230 yokai to befriend, and I found it difficult delving into the specifics of what each one needed. And I ended up keeping basically the same parties I had from the beginning, apart from a few moments where I switched to high-level yokai who joined me as the game progressed. The task of befriending yokai is also difficult. Unlike Pokemon, where the player is encouraged to battle using the correct element and attacks to weaken an opponent sufficiently so that the result is a successful capture. In Yokai Watch, the player needs to battle a yokai X amount of times and feed it food to eventually attract it after battles. And the game doesn't make it clear as to how many times a player needs to fight and feed it either. Sometimes one trusted me after 2 battles, while others needed 4 or 5. One other major issue I had within the game was navigating its world map and finding quest objectives. The game is full of various story quirks, such as thwarting a troublemaking yokai's attempts to steal items from NPCs or causing citizens short-term memory loss. However, the game's map doesn't actually allow for the player to set their own objective markers and will always point to the main quest instead. This made navigating an otherwise well-fleshed out and gorgeous overworld problematic and frustrating. With all that said, the game's sense of place and tone really helped lift the spirit, no pun intended, of the game despite its major drawbacks. The music always had a Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker charm about it, invoking playful and dark themes despite its target demographic. The game does well to touch on aspects of gaming and culture to provide an experience that relates to young people in an engaging and fun way. This series has proven to be an enormous success in Japan since its release in the mid-2013, to the point that its second anime film's release topped the box office charts over Star Wars Episode 7. There's an anime series on Cartoon Network, movies in the pipeline to release in the West, and an entire toy line complete with actual yokai watches and medals for kids to collect. But sadly, the game itself has a lot of shortcomings. Despite this, there's loads of fun to be had with Yokai Watch's story, battle system, and suburban exploration. He's hoping the second game, when it's eventually localised and released, will make for a much smoother and streamlined experience.
There is so much more to learn about yokai, but some things you'll just have to discover on your own. Good luck, Nate. You're going to need it. See you all in the funny and mysterious world of Yokai Watch.